They used to laugh at her. Every morning under the burning sun, she sat by the roadside, selling bananas. Her clothes were simple, her hands were rough, but her heart too kind for this world. And beside her was a man with nothing but big dreams. No money, no job, no hope. But she believed in him. She fed him when he was hungry, supported him when he was lost, and gave him everything she had. And then he became rich, powerful, respected. But the moment success found him, he pretended she never existed. He left her, married a rich woman, and erased her from his story. He thought that was the end, but he was wrong, because the woman he abandoned was about to become the reason he lost everything. And this time, no one would save him. In a quiet village surrounded by palm trees and red, dusty roads lived a young woman named Amara. People knew her as the banana seller, not because that was all she was, but because that was all they chose to see. Every morning before the sun rose, Amara would already be on her feet. She would arrange her bananas carefully, balance the basket on her head, and walk to the roadside where travelers passed. She didn't shout like the others. She didn't beg people to buy. She simply smiled and said, "Fresh bananas." Some days she sold everything. Other days she returned home with almost the same load she left with. But no matter how hard life was, Amara never lost her kindness. Then one evening, just as the sky turned orange, someone stopped by her stand. It was a young man. His name was Tunde. He didn't come to buy bananas. He came to sit. At first, Amara was unsure, but Tunde smiled and started talking. Not about food, not about prices, but about dreams, big dreams. He told her how he wanted to leave the village, start a business, and become successful. People had laughed at him before, called him a dreamer, but Amara didn't laugh. She listened, and something about the way he spoke made her believe him. From that day, Tunde kept coming back. He would sit with her, help her call customers, and share his ideas. Slowly, what started as conversation turned into friendship, and before long, something deeper. But while love was growing, so was a decision that would change everything. One afternoon, Tunde arrived with a different look on his face, serious, focused, urgent. "Amara," he said, "this is my chance." He explained everything quickly, a business opportunity in the city, a connection, a small window of time. "But I need money," he added quietly. Amara's heart tightened. "How much?" When he told her, she froze. It wasn't just money. It was her entire life savings. Years of waking early, years of standing in the sun, years of sacrifice. For a brief moment, fear whispered to her, "What if this fails? What if he doesn't come back?" But then she looked at him and saw something stronger than fear, hope. So the next morning, Amara made a decision. She sold everything, her bananas, her stock, even small belongings she cherished. She gathered every coin she had and placed it in Tunde's hands. "Go," she said. "Don't look back." Tunde was overwhelmed. "I swear," he said, holding her hands tightly, "I will come back for you. I will never forget you." Those words meant everything to her. And just like that, he left. At first, everything seemed right. He called often, told her about small progress, little wins, big hopes. Amara held on to every word like it was gold. But then, something changed. The calls became fewer, the messages became shorter, until one day, nothing. No calls, no messages, no explanation. Just silence. Amara waited, day after day, watching the road like she used to, but this time, not for customers, for him. Then one afternoon, the news arrived. Tunde made it, not just successful, but very rich. People celebrated, they praised him. But Amara, she stood still, because deep inside, she knew Success didn't take him away. He chose to leave. In the city, Tunde had become someone new. His clothes changed, his friends changed, and slowly, his heart changed too. He now moved with powerful people, attended big events, lived the life he once only imagined. And then he met Vanessa. Beautiful, elegant, rich. Everything the city respected. Vanessa wasn't just a woman. She was status, connection, power. And to Tunde, she was the final step. But there was one problem. Amara, the girl from the roadside, the one who believed in him, the one who sacrificed everything. She didn't fit into this new world. So Tunde made a choice. Not by mistake, not by pressure, but by decision. He erased her. He stopped mentioning her name, stopped answering her thoughts, stopped looking back. And then he proposed to Vanessa. The wedding was loud, expensive, beautiful, but empty of truth, because the woman who built his beginning was not there to see his peak. And far away in the village, Amara heard everything. This time, she didn't cry, she didn't beg, she didn't chase. She simply let go. But what Tunde didn't know was that letting her go would cost him everything. At first, Tunde thought he had won. Everything was working. Money flowed easily, his name opened doors, people respected him, and Vanessa stood beside him like a perfect trophy. But perfection is often an illusion, because slowly the cracks began to show. Vanessa wasn't like Amara. She didn't understand struggle. She didn't value loyalty. To her, Tunde was not a partner. He was an asset, something to control, something to use. She began making decisions without him, controlling his business, questioning his choices, turning his success into something that no longer felt like his. Arguments started, small at first, then louder, then constant. Respect faded, and love, it was never truly there. Then came the real blow. A major business deal collapsed. Money began to disappear. Investors pulled out. Trust was lost. Tunde tried everything to fix it, but nothing worked. It was like watching a house burn while standing inside it. And Vanessa, she didn't stand with him. She changed. The same woman who once smiled beside him now looked at him with disappointment. "You're not the man I thought you were," she said coldly. Those words cut deeper than any loss. Then one day, she left. No warning, no apology. She took what she brought into the marriage and walked away, just like that. Tunde was alone. No wife, no support, a failing business, and a past he could no longer ignore. For the first time in years, he remembered Amara. Not just her face, but her sacrifice, her loyalty, her love, and the way he threw it all away. Regret hit him like a storm, and this time there was no escape. Tunde returned to the village, not as the proud man who left, but as someone broken. He went straight to the roadside, the place where everything began. But something was different. The banana stand was gone. In its place stood a large, busy shop. People moved in and out, laughing, buying, respecting the owner. Confused, Tunde asked, "Who owns this place?" Someone pointed, and there she was, Amara. But not the Amara he left behind. This one stood tall, confident, respected, whole. Tunde walked towards her slowly, each step heavier than the last. "Amara," he called. She turned. Their eyes met. No anger, no pain, just calm. And somehow, that hurt more. "I'm sorry," he said. But this time, sorry was not enough. Amara looked at him quietly. "I forgave you a long time ago," she said. Tunde's voice trembled. "Can we try again?" Amara shook her head gently. "You didn't just leave me. You forgot me." She paused, "and I had to remember myself without you." Tunde stood there, unable to speak. The woman he once ignored had become everything he needed, but no longer his. He turned and walked away, not angry, not proud, just empty. And Amara, she didn't look back, because some chapters, once closed, should never be reopened.